Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
There will be an ad at the end of this video. Now, here's a story sent to me by everybody. Georgia sheriff calls deputies for help after becoming upset that Burger King got his order wrong. Fox News published it. I saw it in many places. Landon Mine wrote this. A Georgia sheriff grew so angry when Burger King messed up his order that he called deputies to the store. Cobb County Sheriff, who's up for re-election this year, called his deputies to the Burger King on Veterans Memorial Highway on March 4th to help address his botched order, according to body camera footage obtained by WSB TV. Of course, this did happen a few months ago, but it's just now coming to light. The man's opponent in the upcoming election is slamming the sheriff for abusing his position. That's what the opponent thinks, and quite frankly, I agree with him. I think many people do as well. Three deputies were dispatched to the fast food restaurant with their sirens blaring. So it's unclear if they honestly thought that they should turn their sirens on over a bad hamburger, or if he told them to do that, or if that's a standard operating procedure. I don't know. But the deputies approached the sheriff in his truck, who was parked in the restaurant's parking lot. Now, he was not in uniform, nor was he in a sheriff's office vehicle. However, he is the sheriff. He called deputies, and they showed up in their uniforms, their cars, with their sirens going. He told the deputy, hey, do me a favor. All I need is the owner name or whoever owns this damn facility or the manager. I wanted her, he's referring to a passenger, a Whopper, no mayo, cut in half, right? He added, I don't need no damn money back no more. I just need to find out who owns this place so I can do an official complaint. Now, it's unclear if he's going to do the official complaint with Burger King World Headquarters or if he's going to file a police complaint. But here's the thing. He apparently wanted a Whopper, no mayo, cut in half, and somehow he got something that was not that, meaning it either had mayo on it or was not cut in half. But you're right. That is when you call in the deputies and make sure they've got their sirens on. Because there's a huge difference between a Whopper, no mayo, cut in half, and a Whopper with mayo, not cut in half. And I'm joking. The deputies, who did not ask the sheriff why he couldn't do this himself, then approached the restaurant's doors, but the employees had locked themselves inside. Now, here's the thing. The fact that they had locked themselves inside means that they were actually worried about what was going on outside. So apparently, and I'm reading between the lines here, apparently the sheriff had already given somebody some grief about this. But he wasn't in uniform. So the people in the store are going, okay, there's a crazy guy out there upset because he forgot to cut his Whopper in half. And heaven forbid we put mayo on it. Now, they've got the doors locked, deputies approach, and they talked the people into unlocking the doors. Nobody's in trouble. We just want to get some names, a deputy told the assistant manager, making it sound like they wanted names of employees versus the name of the owner of the franchise. The deputy said there isn't even going to be a report written. That guy out there, he's just going to file a complaint for his food. And again, 3 deputies and the sheriff, and we're going to file a complaint about our food. After receiving the name of the manager and the company that owns that franchise store, the deputies left the restaurant and returned to the sheriff. Deputy then informed the sheriff that the employees were afraid because angry customers in the past have escalated to stalking. The sheriff then laughs and says, you didn't tell him who I was, did you? Why are you asking that question, my friend? Are you already worried that you may have screwed up? And the deputy said, no, I just told him it was the guy out in the truck. So the sheriff is up for re-election this year, and his challenger has posted the video to Facebook. And now somebody who is working with the challenger says, I think it's an abuse of power. He called the incident a display of intimidation and a waste of resources. Oh, I'm shocked the sheriff feels so flippant about this issue Did he have deputies run lights and sirens, placing citizens at risk and his deputies at risk just so he could get information from a business owner that clearly could have been followed up on another day? And by the way, I've been to Burger King before. I've been to McDonald's. Almost every fast food restaurant I'm familiar with has signs around the outside of the building, often right by the window where they take your money if you're doing a drive-thru, that says this store owned and operated by, and it's got a name and a phone number. All the guy had to do was go over and turn his head and read the sign. Be that as it may, is there some reason he couldn't get this information the next day? Is there some reason that he couldn't have his lady friend get on the phone and call and go, "Hi, I'm curious to know about the corporate information of who owns this store. Can you give me their name and number?" I think the people inside that building know who they work for. The sheriff claims that this was a business dispute that any citizen could make. So he's saying that he simply asked himself, if I was a citizen, not a sheriff, what could I do that's reasonable? And he says, I was not in my uniform, and at no point in my interaction with the staff did I identify myself as a member of the law enforcement community. At no point did I indicate my position, nor did I ask the responders to do anything they would not, had not, or have not done for anyone else who makes a business dispute call. BS. You're telling me that if I go down to Cobb County, Georgia, and go through the drive-thru at Burger King, and they screw up my order, I can pull over the side, call the sheriff, and say, I want deputies out here right now with sirens blaring to go in there and find out who runs that place. If they actually will respond to those phone calls, this sheriff should be ousted. Because they should say, did a law get broken? Well, I ordered a Whopper to be cut in half, and they gave it to me not cut in half. Oh my gosh. You hang up immediately and call the FBI. Call the military. Maybe we can get an airstrike. Dude, suck it up. They didn't cut the Whopper in half. Tell your lady friend that sometimes life has disappointments in it, or perhaps, instead of waiting for the deputies to show up, go through the drive-thru again and say, could you guys cut this in half, please? Or could you replace it? It's got mayo on it, or doesn't have mayo, or whatever the problem is. No, he's saying with a straight face that if you're in Cobb County and you have a business dispute of the nature that a fast food restaurant screws up your order, you can call him and his deputies will come out with their sirens blaring and they'll get to the bottom of it for you. Now, all they're going to do is get the information. They're going to walk inside and say, who runs this place? They're not going to make any arrests for you, but they will come out with sirens blazing. So the sheriff claims that the incident is being politicized simply because this is an election year. When you're in the public eye, you should pretend every year is an election year, my friend. Whether as a command sergeant major or a major in the Cobb Police Department or as sheriff, I've always worked to build confidence and trust in leadership, he said. To our citizens and residents, it is clear that I need to work harder, and I pledge to do so. Okay, so now he's actually saying he may have made a slight mistake. Anything that takes away from that mission is a distraction, and for that I am deeply sorry, he said. So he did eventually say, yeah, he's sorry, and it's possible that that was mishandled. However, he still says that the responders that he called, he did not ask them to do anything that they would not or had not or have not done for anyone else who makes a business dispute call. And I'm calling BS on that. I am. Because I find it very hard to believe that the Cobb County Sheriff actually says, if you have a problem with your drive-through order, call us and we'll send cars out, deputies with sirens on, and we'll get to the bottom of it. That's the dumbest proposition I've ever heard, okay? But as noted earlier, I'm reasonably certain that most fast food restaurants have a sign near the window of the drive-thru and quite often by the door as you walk in. And it says, this store owned and operated by, and it's got a name and a phone number. And all he had to do is walk up and use his eyes and write the information down and call. and he's going to file a complaint. And by the way, when he files the complaint, I'm just curious about this. When you file a complaint with Burger King corporate and to say, hey, I went to the drive-thru last night with my lady friend, and I ordered a Whopper cut in half, no mayo. And they gave me a Whopper that was not cut in half and had mayo on it. What's he hoping to accomplish with that phone call? He's hoping he gets a certificate for a free Whopper? I mean, seriously, so in business situations, you'll often hear about people who are talking about things that went wrong, and people often then ask, well, what's the solution? Like, what are you looking for? What are you hoping to get out of this? What's he going to do when he calls corporate or the owner of that franchise location? What's he going to get? Like I said, okay, we'll give you another Whopper. Really? You're going to go to all that trouble, waste all that time. Remember the deputies, there's 3 of them. So you can get yourself a Whopper? They're not that expensive, are they? If this job doesn't pay enough to, be able to once in a while write off a bad hamburger, maybe you should do something else besides be Cobb County Sheriff. But I digress. It's an elected position, and people can vote, and they'll make the decision after the election. So there you go. But this is a crazy one from Fox News, and many people said it. Thanks a lot. Georgia sheriff calls deputies for help after becoming upset that his Burger King order was wrong. Questions or comments, put them below. Otherwise, talk to you later. Bye-bye. At the top, I told you there'd be an ad, and I'm here to talk to you about Factor. I love Factor. Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. They're a team of gourmet chefs create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. And here's the thing. The days are getting shorter. Don't know if you noticed that. I hate to be the one to break the bad news to you. But with fall here, the days are getting shorter. And I find myself, I often do yard work, right? Especially towards the end of the summer and the early fall, you got to start doing the yard work to get the place ready for winter. And I'm outside working, and I realize, it's past lunchtime. I got to eat, and I got to run inside and make something. And the question is, what can I make? And oh, wait, that's right. I got Factor meals in the fridge ready to go. And the coolest thing ever, Factor meals take 2 minutes. 2 minutes to prepare. As I always do, I'm going to show you in the corner me getting the box. I've got the camera set up on my kitchen counter for some reason. And open the box up, throw one in the microwave for 2 minutes, throw the rest of them in the fridge, and you're eating just a minute or two later. It's unbelievable how convenient these things are, especially when you're pressed for time. So if I think to myself, oh, I've got Factor meals inside, I can run inside, throw it in the microwave, wash my hands, eat it, and I'm right back outside ready to go back and finish the rest of my yard work. So it's an amazing thing. And here's the other thing that you really have to remember is that you get a huge variety from Factor. So that, I admit, I'm the type of guy, I live in ruts. I get into a rut and I stay there. I'm comfortable in a rut. I often, before Factor, left to my own devices, would eat the same thing day after day after day, and it was just one of these things where it's like, I'm too lazy. No. Factor solves that problem too. So the box that I unpack on camera contained these meals: chicken Florentine, jalapeno lime cheddar chicken, black pepper and sage pork chop, ground beef and thyme cottage pie, vegetarian tamale bowl, and peanut Buddha bowl. And, these are the things. They sound good, but am I ever going to make one of these meals for myself? No, of course not. I haven't got that kind of time. Go find a recipe. Go get the ingredients. Make a huge mess. Make it. Clean up. No, I'm not going to do that. So the variety that's available is amazing. They do all the work for you. And keep in mind that they've also got many other things. Whether you're managing calories, maximizing your protein intake, or simply trying to eat more balanced meals, Factor has dietitian-approved meals that'll help you meet your wellness goals. You can choose from 6 meal preferences, which includes keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and round out your order with nutrient-rich smoothies, snacks, and energy shots to keep you satisfied all day long. So you can head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code LEHTO'sLaw50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code LEHTO'sLaw50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. And here's what I would encourage you to do, because you've heard me now mention Factor a few times, I suspect. I've been talking about them for a long time on this channel. And so if you haven't yet, just go to the website. Just go take a look at the website. Look at the variety of meals, the variety of plans they've got, all of the different things they have there. Take a look at it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I literally just say, just send me meals. Send them randomly. I don't care. You pick them. And they send me meals, and I get an assortment. And every single time, I'm pleasantly surprised because there's stuff here that I never would have thought of. Okay? Black pepper and sage pork chop. Now, I've had pork chops before, but black pepper and sage, no, that elevates it. And suddenly I'm like, oh. And by the way, it comes with smoked cheddar Brussels sprouts and creamy broccoli. Yeah, I'll eat that, especially when, like I said before, I'm pressed for time, but I want to have a good meal. And that's the thing. I mentioned I get into ruts a lot, but I also find myself previously skimping on my meals because I didn't feel like I had time. I thought, okay, I'd eat better if I had more time, but I haven't got that kind of time. Oh, you haven't got 2 minutes? No, you do have 2 minutes. So you get the box from Factor, you put the meals in the fridge, and when you think to yourself, oh, I've got to eat, but I haven't got time, go, oh, wait, I've got to eat, and I've got Factor. 2 minutes is all it takes, and you've got a great meal. So again, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code LEHTO'sLaw50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code LEHTO'sLaw50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Get that great assortment. Like I said, pick among those different plans they've got. Visit the website, check it out, and you're going to realize that they answered a question that many of us had, but we never realized it could be fixed this simply. And that is, you got 2 minutes, you got time to have a great meal thanks to Factor. I love my Factor. Questions or comments, put them below. Otherwise, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. You can't have everything. Where would you put it?